Alrighty guys, what is going up? I hope you guys are all having a great and an amazing day today. Now in today's episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about my dividend portfolio. I'm sure all of you guys know I'm building a dividend portfolio that pays me $1,000 per month. I've been doing it now for 4 months, so that means I have $3,000 in stocks and then I have another $1,000 that I just transferred in cash waiting to get invested. So now I hope you guys enjoy it overall. I hope you guys learned something, and it's gonna be a little bit of a longer episode. We're gonna talk about how much money I made, the stocks that I own, why I own them. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys learned something. Roll the intro, let's go. Bam! Now, I'm sure that all of you guys know the average millionaire has anywhere from 6 to 7 passive income streams. So I felt like I need to get on that same ball field. I need to build another passive income stream. So I decided we're gonna do dividend investing. I've been doing it now for about 3 months, going into the 4th month here. So I have, like I said, I had that $1,000 invested in a lot of stocks, ETFs, index funds, and I have another $1,000 in cash waiting to get invested. Now, I wanted to show you guys that one, you don't need a lot of money to get started investing. Obviously, I am putting over $1,000 per month into this account, but if you guys can only do $100 a month, $20 a month, $5 a month, obviously it's better than nothing. And there's a lot of brokers out there that do fraction shares, so I would highly recommend those. But the broker I'm using right now for this account is TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim platform. The reason why I'm using it is because they offer this DRIP program. What that means is it's the dividend reinvestment plan. So pretty much what that means is all the dividends you get reinvested right back in that stock. Now, so you might have like 0.009% of a share when that money gets reinvested. But what's gonna happen eventually is all those dividends are gonna get reinvested back in, and then those dividends are gonna make you money, and you're gonna have this thing called compound interest. Albert Einstein said that it is one of the 5th wonders or something like that of the world is compound interest. So I felt like I need to do it. I need to do it. Warren Buffett does it. I want to learn. So now the moment we've all been waiting for, how much money did I get paid for 2020 in dividends? I got paid a whopping, drum roll, $1.23. Now, for some of you that might be like nothing, and I understand that it's only $1, but you guys have to look long term. I am only on my 4th month doing this, and I'm slowly building up a passive income stream. The reason and what I tell everyone is how much money did you get paid in dividends? Some people don't even know, some people don't even invest. So I feel like just getting started, you're literally in the right path. You just need to be consistent with investing. Now, the second thing that you guys need to understand is I don't care what you guys are investing in, you need a strategy. You need it because you will get killed in this market. So what I like to do is I like to find blue chip stocks that are undervalued and that have a very strong balance sheet that I know in the next couple of years they will rebound and make me some money. I know a lot of stocks right now cut their dividend, like Ford, Disney, ExxonMobil, and I'm sure a lot of others. But you have to look long term. Once this whole virus and once this whole pandemic and the overall market turns around, same with the economy, these dividends are gonna come back and you're gonna be rolling in money. So now, what stocks do I own? Let's go. Alrighty guys, so we have the very first stock here. This is AAPL, the one and only Apple. They do pay a nice little dividend of around 1% or so. So moving on to the next one, we're just gonna go through these quick, and if you guys just wanna take a screenshot of the all of these stocks here so you guys can see, or you guys can click on my blog. I will put a link of all my stocks down below as well. So moving on here, this is ACB Aurora Cannabis. I felt like I should kind of diversify my account and get some stocks that have some very, very high risk, but some high reward. I only have about 5 shares of these, and that's less than $5. So I'm willing to risk, $5 to kind of double my money long term. So moving on here, stock number 3 is Ally Financial, also known as Ally Bank. You may see the commercials here. In 2019, they had a beautiful growth from $20, highs at 35, and then they just got slammed by this whole recession here. So they are very, very undervalued. and they do pay a dividend, which is a nice little bonus. We always like that dividend because this is our dividend portfolio. So moving on, we have another banking stock. This is Bank of America. Warren Buffett has a ton of Bank of America, so I felt like this stock was very undervalued, so I'm in it, and I do have 3 shares of it, and I'm up about $6 on this one. Not too big of a jump, but this is a dividend portfolio, so we're focused on the dividend paying stocks here. Moving on, Carnival Cruise, very undervalued. There's definitely some sort of potential with this one. I have, I believe, 2 shares of it, so I'm willing to risk, $20 for this stock to go back up to 40. That's just me being me. I understand they cut their dividend. I understand that this is a very, very risky stock, but I'm willing to risk that to get that reward because we have a lot of other stocks that have, more long-term growth. So moving on here, we have another very risky stock. We have Delta Airlines. The reason why I did like Delta is because you guys see this beautiful trend. This was amazing. And then we had this nasty fall, hitting lows at $22. I think it's just a matter of time before people start flying. And I feel like people start traveling, whether it's going on business trips or doing anything they normally would do. So I do think it's just a matter of time before this one bounces back. On top of it, they do pay a dividend. I'm pretty sure they just cut it, but we're looking long term with all these stocks. So moving on here, we have Disney. I own about 3 shares of Disney. I felt like getting into Disney under $100 is a very, very fair buy. So our average price on these is around $99. So I'm up about $30, which is pretty decent. I'm looking to buy a couple more of these. I would like to have 10 of them by the end of the year, which would be my ideal goal. So moving on, we have the dividend king, Coca-Cola here. So this stock pays that beautiful dividend, and they were very undervalued. So I do have 2 shares of it. I'm up about $7 on that, which is very nice on top of getting paid that dividend. So moving on here, this is Live Nation Entertainment. I felt like this stock was very undervalued. They don't pay a dividend, but we're looking long term for this stock here. This is going to be a stock that I may get. I'm going to try to swing trade it or kind of wait for everything to kind of pass over and then hop out of it. We'll see what happens with this one, but I felt like I should. It's better to be in this stock than out of it. That's just my personal opinion. So moving on, we have Maine. This is a monthly dividend stock. You guys can see all of these dividends. So they do pay a dividend monthly. We have this beautiful slow uptrend, nasty fall. This is what you call a REIT, and these REITs, they do have to pay 90% of all of their earnings and all of their revenue back to their investors, whether it's dividends or any other cash payment. So I do think that this is a very cool stock to have, and you get this cash flow every month, which is pretty nice. So I do own a couple of those, so we can go ahead and see. I do own 5, and then you guys can see where they had the DRIP program automatically reinvested. That's how I own some partial shares of that. So moving on, we have NLY. This one is another REIT, and this one is just a stock that's very, very undervalued as well. I do own quite a bit of them, 39.5, which is pretty cool. I mean, you got to look long term. I think that this stock is going to trade in between $8 and about $10 when this whole thing is over with. So I do think getting in it under $6 is definitely a fair buy if you ask me. So moving on, we have another monthly payment stock. This is Realty Income Corp. You guys can see all the dividends they paid. I understand that a lot of people think that this stock or REIT is overhyped, but you're getting paid every single month, and you're going to be getting this growth of this stock. We have this beautiful uptrend. Yeah, it takes it takes some time for the stock to kind of go up, but it's only $54. The stock hit highs at 84. I understand that they might have had some issues in this recession, but we're looking long term. We're building this dividend portfolio, so I'm willing to have a couple of shares of these. I think I do own 3, and you guys can see 3.009 because of that DRIP program, fraction shares. So we have another one. This stock does not pay any dividends. I do own 2 shares of it. I'm up $17. This is going to be a position that I swing trade and get out of it with a profit. I'm waiting for it to break above the 200 moving average line, because you guys can see the last time it did it, it just rocketed up, used it as support and continued. And then once it fell below it, we just had that fall, and then every time it broke above it again, shoo, beautiful. So that's what we're doing on that one. Same thing with RUN, RUN. I'm up quite a bit on this one as well. I only have one share of it, but I'm up, you know, for a stock that's only $9, I'm up $5. So, you know, that's pretty nice as well. So moving on here, we have Starbucks, SBUX. I felt like this stock was undervalued. I got into it. It's better to be in than out of it. I'm waiting for it to break above it on top of, you know, long-term potential with all these dividends. So next one here, we have SJR. This is another, I believe, monthly payment. I could be wrong on this one, but this one could be a monthly payment. I think it is. This is another monthly payment stock forming that V pattern. Stock normally trades in between 17 and 21. I do think there's definitely some long-term potential definitely with this one. So the next one here, we have SPXL. This is just the S&P 500 ETF. They did pay dividends back. They used to pay dividends, and they're unsure if they're going to continue to pay just because of look how cheap the stock is. And I understand that it's the S&P 500 Bull ETF. So, you know, this is just an ETF that I should have. I do own a couple of them, and they're only $36. So there's definitely a lot of long-term potential with this one. This will probably average anywhere from, you know, 10 to 12% annually. Moving on, we have AT&T, another very undervalued stock here. Nice support here at 26. Called that out, and now it's slowly been climbing its way back up. They do pay a nice dividend, so I do think it's better to be in this one than out of it. So next one here, we have another airlines. This stock had this nice uptrend, as you guys can see, getting slammed. It's just a matter of time before we see recovery with all these airlines. The next one here, we have Visa. Look at this beautiful uptrend here. The stock is continuing to rally up. I own one share of it. They do pay a dividend, and they are one of the few companies to actually not get majorly affected by the virus. So I do think that's a good one to have here. So moving on, we have VNQ. This is another Vanguard real estate ETF or REIT. They do pay a dividend here. I'm not sure why they're not up, but they do pay a dividend, which is pretty nice. This stock normally honestly trades in between 71 and highs at $100. So I do think getting into the stock around support, definitely a good thing. So moving on here, this is another stock that I'm up on. This is VU. This is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. So as you guys can see, this is where I own quite a bit. I am up about $100. There's definitely a lot of long-term potential with this one. They do pay a dividend, and they do average anywhere from 10 to 12% annually. So this is definitely a long-term play with this one. This is the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. This is about $77. You get paid a dividend of around 3%. Definitely long-term potential with this one as well. And then the last one here, we have ExxonMobil. There's been a lot of volatility with this one due to the virus, due to oil prices. So I do think that this one definitely could be a stock that I swing trade. I'm up a little bit on it, $12, which is pretty decent. So those are all the positions I have. So if you guys want to go ahead and check and just go ahead and check out my blog, we'll have a whole list of how much I'm getting paid from all these dividends annually. So that is it though. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you guys did, make sure you guys smash the like button. We'll see you guys tomorrow in another episode. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and overall have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.